Do you think that part of your decision in retiring had to do that you had reached 50, like that you had found that number and that you were edging towards that number? Do you think retirement kind of naturally came up in your mind, or was it kind of a long decision? Or
it took me a while to decide. I sort of had to work hard mentally to get to 50. The last few fights were a little bit more hard mentally. My heart just wasn't into it anymore. But I think what really made up my mind is that I needed to start something new. I needed to start caring about other things and not just fighting and training. The training just takes so much out of you. Training every day, twice a day, 3 hours at a time. You have no time for anything else. You're sleeping, eating, training, sleeping, eating, training. I'm sure you know that now. And I was constantly having to say no to people. Like, no, I can't go for dinner because I have to be up early. It's going to involve beers. I can't go to the pool because I have to be at training in the afternoon. It's going to drain all my energy. I got really tired of saying no, and I think people got tired of hearing the word no as well. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is that, sadly, there is no money to be made in fighting. I mean, I've made a bit of a living here, but not enough to cover my expenses. Maybe I live too
frivolous.
For Thailand, I don't know.
Do you think that that's as a woman or as a Farang, or is it that nobody makes money as a
in Thailand,
fighter?
Nobody does. Well, I mean, maybe the top Thai boys, but I've been paid the same as any of the other fighters in this camp, if not better. Because I'm sort of a novelty, a little white girl from Canada fighting in Thailand.
Who wins a lot.
So no, I've been paid adequately. But I just think personally, it's time for me to find a better way to make a living.
This is kind of a very heavy question, so you can only talk about it as much as you want to, or you can, let it go or whatever. But it seems like the timing of your change in priorities came about when you experienced a very heavy tragedy here.
Oh, God.
And do you feel like that kind of altered the way you felt about fighting at all, or it was just in itself?
No, if anything, it might have made me a little bit stronger. Funny enough, the day that it happened, I actually had to go fight. That was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Obviously, I dedicated my fight to him. And I realized that even though he was gone, he was a very, very close person to me. But I could still do it without him, or I guess he's up there watching. But no, it didn't have to do with that. I think it brought us here at the camp closer together. Sadly enough, it takes tragedy sometime to do that. But it made us more of a family in a way. It wasn't. Last year was not an easy year.
You have a very interesting position in this camp in that just the way the camp is structured, there are a lot of visitors. There's a high turnover of people coming in and going out. So the people that you can really be close to are probably a very small number of Farang fighters who are here all the time, and then the Thais. So as a Farang fighter yourself, and as a woman, and kind of being in Thailand and like this complete novelty, and having a very small group around you, how do you feel that places you in the rest of the world? Like when you leave here and you find yourself somewhere else, how does that feel?
Not sure I quite understand what you're asking.
Well, it's that
I don't know what you mean by when I go out to the rest of the world.
Well, in this camp, you kind of fit in two categories. Because you're not Thai, but because you're always here and you train so hard and you fight so well, the people you're closest to are really Thais, and then a very small number of Farang who are here like you all the time. And so, of course, you find your place wherever you go, but in the camp, how do you feel that places you? As like you don't really fit into the category of the people who are coming and going.
I know what you mean. It's actually been one of sort of a hard thing here, not really fitting in. Number one, I'm a girl. There's not a lot of women that come through here, and the women that do come through here don't stay very long. Number two, you're right, I'm not Thai, and it's nothing against the Thais, but they're the way they are, the way they think, the way they act is very, very different than the rest, than the Western world. And it's been hard adjusting to it. There's times where you get so frustrated. You're like, what? So it's been hard in that way. I haven't had a lot of close friends since I'm here. Like you said, I've had a few of the long-term fighters, which most of them happen to be gone now. I seem to be the lonely sheep here, left behind. I think in the future it will make me appreciate my family and my friends more, or not in the future, maybe it has already, but when I am close to them, it makes me appreciate my time with them more, because I don't have that here.
But do you feel like it's do you feel connected to other female fighters out in the world, like as female Muay Thai as a thing itself? Do you feel connected to it, or do you feel a little bit isolated from it?
I feel a little bit isolated. It seems like they get different opportunities than I do. I'm also very, I sort of keep to myself. I don't tend to socialize too much. I like hiding in my room. And I'm lazy about emails. But yeah, I think I see myself, it's not that I see myself differently, I think that they've had different opportunities. I don't know which one's best. I've managed to achieve something different than they have. But I find that maybe I wasn't as known as I could have been if I had done this in the Western world.
Yeah, there are different motivations in the Western world, I think, a little bit.
That's what I liked about Thailand. That's what I liked about fighting here, was the fact that you fight every 2-3 weeks. No big show, no big fireworks, no big entrance, no ring girls. You know, it's get in the ring, do your business, get out. The one time I had to go fight in Australia, I found it kind of odd. You know, those pictures beforehand and interviews and weigh-ins and this and that and after party, and I'm like, oh my god,
It's a big
I just
thing.
want to fight and go home. It's quite different. Different experience.
So if you decide to pursue, you have many options right now, but if you decide to open your own gym and kind of work that way, do you think that you'll train people in the manner that you've been trained, or will you change some things, or?
Unfortunately, I would probably have to change things. If I do open a gym, it'll be in the Western world somewhere, and people from the West don't agree with this sort of training, or it's not as accepted. I don't want to be mean in any way, but it seems like people expect more of a guiding hand. You know, it's like, okay, let's go do this. Okay, let's go do that. Instead of here, we're left on our own to motivate ourselves quite a bit. So yeah, I think unfortunately I would have to change some stuff. I would try to keep some of the stuff that we do here, keep the same sort of atmosphere, but there's no way you could duplicate this in the West. It's too bad. If there was a gym like that in the West, I'd go to it.